It could happen in the blink of an eye. One wrong link clicked from an email or text message, and would-be hackers gain access to a lot of personal data, including banking information. So that's prompting the creation of a new coalition. Here to discuss is Anthony Osler, CEO of the Canadian Bankers Association. You are also the chair of this new coalition. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, Faiza. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you about the Canadian Anti-Scam Coalition. It's an amazing initiative that represents not just banks, but telecoms, the digital platforms, law enforcement, and government. And what we've been working together to do is to develop a campaign to help educate Canadians, to help them better protect themselves against scams, because we're very concerned about the environment, like you described in your lead-in. The need to help people help themselves is critical at this stage.
And, you know, we had the conversation earlier, too. I think it's so important, not for us only to have this conversation, but for families to also talk about this, because these scammers aren't only targeting specific demographics. Anyone can fall victim to this. Tell us a little bit about what the coalition is hoping to change, fix, or address.
Certainly. So if you think about what everyday consumers are dealing with, you have phone calls, it could be text messages you mentioned, or there's a number of different dimensions. Some could be on your front door. And the reality is often these people are unfortunately are bad actors. And they're taking advantage of greed, fear, or lust. So they're playing on your emotions. And human behavior is such is that when we get emotional about something, sometimes our ability to stop and think about, oh, is this legitimate or not, can get affected by our emotions. And so the campaign that we're launching early next month is called Stand Against Scams. And the 50-plus organizations that are involved in this initiative, we've worked with behavioral economists to design this campaign. And our call to actions for Canadians is to stop, check, and talk. And so that talk point is one of the things you just mentioned. You intuitively got it. So if we learn how to avoid a scam, or if we're unfortunately a victim of a scam, sharing that with friends and family members so that we can stop that chain of activity is critical. But up front, one of the things that's critical is thinking critically and having a chance to think, okay, does it really make sense for a police officer to be in front of my front door asking for my PIN code? Like, does that really make sense? Maybe you should stop and pull out your bank card and the phone number on the back and call that phone number and say, does this make sense? Did you send the RCMP to my front door to get my bank card?
Yeah.
Like, we should, but so it's those sort of things that we're trying to help. And so by doing the check process and thinking about, well, do I need to do this urgently? Is it really my grandson calling? Or, is that those pair of Air Jordans on Instagram, are they really that good of a deal? Like, there's so many different ways. And what's interesting is, sadly, all Canadians are victims of scams. There's millions of Canadians every year. And we want to turn that around. And we developed this campaign based on learnings from other countries around the world. Australia has a similar program that's been in place for a couple of years now. And they're actually helping people stop scams. And that's what we want to do.
With the growth of artificial intelligence and how often we're all using it, how can we protect ourselves from AI when it's used to scam us, maybe?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. I think that part of that is that stop, check, and talk, but there are also resources out there. So, I'm CEO of the Canadian Bankers Association. We have a website, which is our acronym CBA, so cba.ca. There's in the fraud prevention, scam prevention section of the site, there's some great details, information, and tools to help you recognize those different elements. Additionally, the standagainstscams.ca website is now up and running, and we'll be adding more information as the campaign launches. So there's those sort of tools. But a key part of what these scammers are trying to do is to play on your emotion, and so try and
get a quick reaction out of you right there, right
then. So try and take a breath and just go, does this make sense?
Yeah.
And if you don't recognize the phone number, or even if you do recognize the phone number, like, would I be expecting this? And the checking and talking with others should help you better protect yourself, and then also sharing what you've learned allows us all collectively to work effectively together.
What's the chances if someone has been scammed of them being able to recover the money? Because we hear so many of these stories and they're devastating.
So there's an organization called the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre who have a reporting process, and they're part of our coalition. if you report something to them quickly, there's a small chance that they may be able to
Oh, wow.
reclaim it, but it depends on how you sent the money and what did you do. Some things are instant. So the challenge is if you've sent the money, your odds of being able to get it back can often be very little. And so that's why we want to move up the process chain and help people overcome those emotions that the scammers are playing upon and better protect themselves and protect their friends and family.
Okay, really important conversation. I'm glad we're having it. Anthony Osler, thank you so much for coming here today.
Thanks you very much, Faiza. It was great to meet you.